From the News Channel 5 network, this is Real Estate Real Talk with your host, Realtor Christy Wilson. Sponsored by the Wilson Group Real Estate Services.
Good morning, everyone. As usual, we're cracking jokes before we get started yet again. Welcome to Real Estate Real Talk, Nashville's only live real estate call-in show where you, the viewer, get to give us a ring, ask us what's on your mind related to real estate matters. If what we're talking about is not what you want to talk about, give us a call anyways, and we want to hear from you. We want to address your questions. Our call-in number is 737-7587, and you can ring us whenever you are ready. My name is Yogi Dougher. I'm a real estate investor and banker, and sometimes I'm a builder and developer. Just depends on what kind of mood I'm in, I guess. My co-host this week is none other than Christy Wilson of the Wilson Group. Christy, unfortunately, well, she's in Paris. So let us all shed a cumulative tear for Christy. A moment of silence? Okay, that's enough. Christy, of course, is the founder and senior broker at the Wilson Group Real Estate Services. They are a longtime, experienced, knowledgeable real estate firm here in Nashville, multi-generations, much like our guest today. You can find information at the Wilson Group Real Estate WilsonGroupRealEstate.com. And there it is on your screen. And of course, you can ask them any questions at 385-1414. Christy has 28 agents and a full-service property management company, all under house over there. They know what they're doing. They've been doing it a long, long time. Like them on Facebook? Give them a shout that way, too, if you like. Let's see, I would like to welcome our guest today. I'm very glad that Pat McGuigan is with us. I've known you and your dad for quite a while, multi-generational, much like the Wilson Group with Christy and her dad, Hal. And this is a real estate appraisal service, and there's so much activity in your world these days. I can't wait to talk about it. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, thank you, Yogi. I appreciate being here this morning. Excited about talking real estate and real estate appraisal with you guys today. I grew up here in Middle Tennessee. All the way through high school, and then
so you're the one that's actually from Nashville.
I am from Nashville. Took off to Texas for college, and then returned back to Nashville in 2002, and have been doing real estate appraisal work since then.
All right. Well, we're going to get into the thick of things with you here in just a little while, but there's a lot to talk about. Of course, with every time a property is financed, it has to have an appraisal attached to it, and so there's a lot of activity in your world these days and a lot of questions. This touches a lot of people here, and your numbers are very important to what ends up happening after that. So looking forward to getting into that. News you can use. We've got some stuff going on in town. Mortgage rates, just when you think they can't get any better. I was really surprised this morning. I've been out of town for a while and checked this morning at rates, and the 30-year is down below 4. Do you believe that? To 3.875, and the 15-year is down to 3.125, 3 1/8. That means when you calculate your tax deduction, this is about free money. And I'm not sure if I've seen them quite this low before. So we are, if you're thinking about refinancing, if you're thinking about purchasing, obviously now is a good time. The good folks over at Farmington Financial Group gave us those numbers, and I appreciate that. Being that I was out of town, I usually cover some of the job stories that happened this week, but I haven't been here in a few weeks, so I'm a little out of touch on that. I will say that I was reading through the paper this morning. I think there are 2 more boutique hotels that have been announced for downtown Nashville. That is what we're seeing, some more infill on that type of thing. The south of Broadway corridor is filling in better than ever. The announcement of the Bridgestone and final passage of the Bridgestone group coming downtown and filling in all that is going to make such a major difference. So jobs, 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 which means that people are going to come here and rent and buy, and that all relates to our world. Listing of the week I've got coming up. Marilena, will you have that for us? Okay. Well, we'll get to listing of the week in just a moment, and right after we come back from break. So if you have any questions for us, give us a shout at 737-7587. I wanted to start off with a question for you, which is just wide open, but this, your family has been in this business for a while, so let's start there. How long has the group been around?
Sure. So my father started the company back in the early 80s, and before that, he was an appraiser in the savings and loan era, and so his experience to see the banking world as well as the real estate world and the real estate appraisal world grow is very impressive, and he's been able to see a lot of change throughout the years.
I imagine he's appraised the same property many times and can remember what it used to go for.
There are many times he sees the same property 4, 5, and 6 times as it gets bought and sold.
Yeah, and I should bring up that because people don't often realize why there is an appraisal service and why we have to have it every time. When a bank finances, a mortgage company finances a piece of property, they need a third party to give them a valuation to be sure that they aren't lending too much money on a property because it's not worth it. And so every transaction, every refinance, for the most part, has to have an appraisal attached to it. And oftentimes when loans come due during the course of their loan tenure, it will be reappraised to be sure that the value is still up there. Years ago when the recession hit, of course, properties were going down in value, and banks had to see, well, how are we underwater? Is more owed on it than what it's worth? And so even in down times, you guys are pretty busy.
Sure. No, I think, and even for what we were doing with our appraisal work, our values were even more important to banks when property values were decreasing, because they needed to know what are they worth, and that's very important to their paper and to the underwriting that they're doing within their bank. And so whatever the value is, whether it be high or low, the bank is always going to need to know where that number is.
Yeah, and of course it's good for the person buying and selling as well. And we've even seen sometimes people will get a valuation before they put it on the market just to see if it's worth selling or not. Well, we joke. Christy comes from a real estate family, multi-generation. Everyone in my family is in the real estate business. Your brother, your dad, is there anyone else I'm not aware of?
We've got everybody covered. Even my mom is up and around the office and helps out on our accounting side at our office. So we are a true family business from that aspect. But we've been blessed to be able to enjoy work, but then also to enjoy family time and enjoying each other.
How many people work there?
We've got 9 employees.
And that's commercial as well as residential?
We do both residential and commercial appraisals, correct. And I think we've got 5 residential appraisers and we've got 4 commercial appraisers. So virtually any property out there can be appraised. We can appraise it and cover it.
Excellent. All right, well, I'll tell you what, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we will go to the listing of the week and see what's out there for sale, and I'd like to have your thoughts on that as well. We'll be right back right after this.